It's the idea or the concept of a superhero. And what does that mean in society?
You are the leader. You are the Red Ranger.
One of the roles I always wanted to do was a superhero. It's like every kid's dream, and this is the perfect time to do it for me.
I must have been really young when I started watching Power Rangers. I mean, I can't really remember much of the storylines, but you just remember wanting to be one of them. Surprise.
My punishment for when I used to do bad stuff was not being able to watch Power Rangers sometimes, and that's how addictive it was.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother's good. Mother's good.
I think there's a lot of things in this movie that are so true to the original Power Rangers and everything that it stands for.
Yes!
And I think I wanted to be the red one. Red was my favorite color. And I was a little bit of a tomboy as well, so I probably related more to the guy characters, so.
There's gonna be things that people are like, man, like, that's so cool. That's just like, you know, that one time in this one episode or in the old movie.
Oh, this is exciting. Yeah, Trini.
But then there's also gonna be things like, what? Did that just happen? Like, I had no idea. I didn't see that coming. That's dope. So there's a lot of new things, and then there's a lot of true things to what was already established.
I was in an elevator the other day, and somebody asked me along those lines, how does it feel to be playing the Red Ranger? And the only thing that I could say was, I feel honored. And I think that extends to the whole franchise. I feel honored to be playing a role with a team that is so prominent in pop culture, and the opportunity of representing that in a reboot, I never thought would have been possible.
Did I just hear you say we're Power Rangers?
Yes, yes, you are the Power Rangers. Any other questions?
Well, the origin is really in Japan. Back in 1984, they only had 3 channels. I was laying in bed watching TV, and there wasn't anything to watch except for this show that had 5 kids in spandex kinking rubber monsters' butts.
As a 5, 6, and 7-year-old, I lived in Tokyo, where the only thing on television that was English-speaking was Happy Days and Sesame Street, and I hated Sesame Street. And so consequently, I found myself watching a great many Japanese superhero shows on television. I mean, it's part of the culture. I mean, Power Rangers being one of what is a large family of these kinds of stories, and so I had always been fascinated by them.
Well, Power Rangers came out when I was basically the perfect age, growing up in South Africa, and it became a phenomenon there, just as it became a phenomenon all around the world.
The show has been going on in Japan close to 40 years now.
Now the time is at hand. The Power Rangers will witness the mass destruction of all they have fought to protect. The first wave of attack will be against those annoying humans called teenagers. After that, the rest of the world shall easily fall.
I bought the rights for the show worldwide outside of Asia. And I thought, well, when they have masks on them, you can't tell if they're Asian or Caucasian or... So we decided to do what I think was one of the first multi-ethnic show, superheroes, superhero girls, and it just hit a chord.
Everybody knows what Power Rangers is from, you know, America. You can go to Guam, they know what, you know, it's everywhere.
We're coming on our 25th year. So we have a huge fan base from when it launched in 1993 to now. And we love our fans as much as they love the franchise. And so we made sure that as we developed the script, that we stayed true to the original Mighty Morphin Ranger characters.
I'm strong.
How strong?
Like, insanely strong.
We have a passion for this franchise. We think it's a very unique franchise. It has multiple positive messages about it. It's fun, it's campy, it's multi-ethnic.
No.
It's got all these wonderful traits about it, and most of all, it has resonated with kids all over the world.
It's all positivity, you know, it's all about love and sharing and being together and fighting for something that's worthwhile.
Let's go train. Today's the day you become Rangers. I can feel it.
It's the same general message that I feel like Power Rangers has always kept, you know, that everyone's a superhero and everyone can be a superhero. There's no certain look to what is good or amazing. You know, every people as people are just amazing. The human being as an entity is an amazing, you know, thing.
The one distinct feeling I remember watching the show was it made you feel strong. It made you feel like you wanted to be in those suits, and if you transformed into those suits, something would transform with you.
Everything on the inside just comes out, and that's what the armor is, I feel. It's just like when you're more comfortable in yourself, then, you know, you become this superhero because you're fearless and you can take on anything. No. Okay.
And that sort of was the feeling that I always remembered and sort of held on to, I think, and when the project emerged as something that was going to be sort of rebooted and reimagined, I thought if it could tap into that kind of feeling that I remembered so distinctly as a child, it would be a wonderful adventure to be on.
While the original TV series was kind of campy and fun, and you had rubber monsters and everything like that, we're not having rubber monsters in our film, and they battle real stakes, and they're very personal stakes.
I think that Saban and Lionsgate and the producers always wanted to make this an origin story and wanted to show how a group of teenagers came together and found the coins and became Power Rangers, and a little bit of what their personalities were that maybe it kept them apart to a certain extent in their lives, and then what brought them together ultimately.
This has to do with the coins?
Yes, the coins. Different colors, different kids, different colored kids.
We believe it's a multi-picture franchise. So obviously in a multi-picture franchise, you start off with the origin. So that's the reason it's the origin. It's really as simple as that.
It's a more relevant version to now. There's a lot more depth to the characters and to the story.
Me and 4 kids from Angel Grove found a spaceship buried underground.
What?
I'm pretty sure I'm a superhero.
Cool. Pee in that cup.
Well, from the beginning, I wanted to capture the spirit of what I thought the show was when I was growing up. And to me, what I remember is a buoyancy, a joyousness, a fun, and obviously a campiness and a cheesiness. And I think that that has its place in today's cinema when you're able to walk that line properly.
Kids really, on the big screen, have a certain expectation. And when they watch something on TV, as a TV series, they have a different expectation. So there won't be a disappointment, if you will.
Give me your hand. I think like any film currently, any of the huge, big superhero blockbuster films, we're looking at films that are, fully fleshed out, characters that are fleshed out, special effects that are incredible, so in order to fit into the contemporary audience of our time, you need to have those big special effects and use the technology that we have to be able to create those incredible landscapes and worlds.
The core thing that we needed to accomplish with this film is to be different from all of the other superhero films out there.
Hey, how about when you guys try to be the yellow one?
Oh yeah, the yellow one. Aw, he's so cool.
How do you know it's a he?
I think a lot of the personalities of the Rangers is based in some of the original invention of their personalities, but I also think that we tried to make them reflect this modern moment in time and what teenagers might be going through now.
There's a lot of things that are similar, like kids in high school, there's always been certain kids that have been bullied, and there's those kind of themes that we can relate to in any day and age, in the last 100 years. So it's both got ties to the 90s, but also, contemporary themes running through it.
Are you crazy? No? What if you had an extra one? Why don't you cut this little act and do something? Why don't you stop me, huh? You gonna stop?
And I think for me, when I remember movies I grew up on in the 80s, I feel like they balance tone so well. If you think about the Amblin movies, they they have fun while staying real, whilst being emotional, whilst being scary at times. And I think nowadays films kind of get boxed in and try to do singular things, and I think there's a way to retain all of that, and I thought this property and this idea could do those things if done right.
You know, he was just like, RJ, do you have any ideas about who Billy would be in your mind? I was like, you have no idea. I've been practicing the last 18 years, you know, just, it was really exciting because it's these different like mannerisms and tics and stuff that Billy has now, and they're all ones that me and Dean, we just worked on. We're like, how would he feel in this situation?
So what I wanted to bring to it is what I think I can do well, which is take these larger-than-life elements, but ground them in some kind of reality that we will believe every moment.
He got it. When he came in for the first pitch, he was so compelling and had his arm around the issues as if he's grown up with it, which he has.
I think what interested me about this project was the ability to have a clean slate. I think when I spoke to Dean, we had a Skype meeting and he was, you know, showing me artwork, and all of those iconic things about Power Rangers were already there, you know, and they're already there, and obviously they're rebooted and they're reimagined. But really, for me as an actress, it was a, you know, a character that I could take and make what I wanted.
I mean, we always wanted to pay homage to the original show in terms of its spirit, and that's why I think what will be surprising is that it's all the same characters, but we've made them deeper and more complex and more nuanced, and we've pushed the emotion of it. So it's funny, but it's also really heart-rendering, I think.
There's nothing that I could do for him. We were both reckless with our teams.
No. I'm sorry.
Well, I think for Dean and I, the idea of making a Power Rangers movie that was going to incorporate coming-of-age stories for teenagers and kids in high school was a whole nother angle that was going to be really fun to exploit. Because I really like teenage movies and I like teenage characters.
We have an opportunity here to obviously make these characters, to give these characters more depth. So I think I feel a responsibility as an actress for the younger generation that are going to come and watch. What am I going to bring to my character? So Kimberly, young girls that are going to come and watch, what are they going to get from it? Why is it that they want to be the pink or the yellow Power Ranger?
It's so much more relevant to our generation and to who we are and what we're dealing with in our lives.
Boyfriend troubles.
Yeah. Boyfriend troubles.
Girlfriend troubles?
One of the things I love about this new version is the diversity of the cast and sort of the attitude of the movie towards everyone, which is that, like, inclusion is the way to go.
I just always found it the best things are things that didn't have to, you know, whether it was a social statement or political statement, you know, to do it in a way that's not kind of didactic and hitting you over the head with it or whatever. It's just making it within the fabric of the story.
These kids all feel like outsiders, but actually they're totally connected to each other. They all have this same sort of vibe in common, and it's frankly what all teenagers go through. Like, no matter what color you are, what gender you are, who you want to love, like, everybody feels this way.
My family is so normal, too normal. They believe in labels. I don't know how to tell them what's really going on with me.
And I think the nice thing about now, or at least for most of the people I know that are this age, it's not a big deal. It's not a thing that they talk about, you know? It's not a thing that, and hopefully that's just gonna keep happening and growing over time, you know?
And I think it's a great message for young people that, like, you're not alone. No matter what you're going through, we got a character for you, and that you know, bullies need to be stood up to.
There can only be one Red Ranger. Jason, this is your time. This is your team.
Thank you.
We started off with the premise that we want a multi-ethnic cast, like we always have had on Power Rangers, a multi-ethnic cast. But once we went beyond that, we needed to feel the magic. And if you feel the magic, you go for it. If you don't feel the magic, you don't go for it. So we felt the magic, and it was about those 5 actors that are now the Power Rangers. And that feeling of magic was not just with me, but was with the director, obviously, who, by the way, is absolutely fantastic, and with Lionsgate.
The morphing grid is never wrong. If the power coins had returned to the ship with these
Teenagers!
teenagers, then these teenagers are the Power Rangers.
Power Rangers!